What's going on, everybody? Welcome to your daily astrology horoscope for Tuesday, February 14th, 2023. Astrologer Brian Scarborough here, Fixed Air Moon, keeping the collective fixed on astrology. Truly appreciate you all very much, and happy Valentine's Day. It is that day in Aquarius that we celebrate love. And hey, it's why not bring some love into the ice cold tundra of Aquarius, right? And bring maybe some Leo energy from the summer and that love and the warmth into the winter, you know. It is weird that it falls in Aquarius, but it is what it is. And maybe that's why. Maybe we have to bring that warmth and love to this time. But is it just about the tradition of said holiday, or is it maybe more than that? Well, I think the astrology for today kind of paints that story well. So let's take a look. Hope everybody is doing outstanding, of course, as always. So, very interesting Valentine's Day. Couple things. I think one of the, amazing things about this is we have Venus, Neptune, and White Moon Selena conjunct in Pisces. This is a very strong Venus. Exalted in Pisces is a very strong Neptune, dignified. White Moon Selena brings that divine feminine, that, all-encompassing, kind of nurturing, creative, almost like really pure creative energy. And this is where we can have a lot of that compassion, that just unconditional love. And I think that if anything today revolves around unconditional love and something that's transcending the physical world, you're going to have a great day. You're going to see that everything is exactly as it should be when it comes to relationships. And it can be, fairy tale beautiful, but not maybe in the way society has constructed it, if you will. Pluto's at 29 degrees Capricorn. Yeah, I mean, are traditions just gonna keep holding strong here, or is this maybe one of the first kind of weird falls? We could say this about Christmas. We could say this about Thanksgiving. Like, holidays have been all those traditional things that Capricorn rules. Well, they're a little weird these days. So I think we just have to be open to things are transforming. If we bring this unconditional aspect into today, whether we're in a relationship or not, things can be, absolutely more beautiful or imaginative or serene than you could possibly imagine. Or maybe you could, and that's a beautiful thing too. But it is sun coming to 26 degrees, and it'll be at 25 degrees to start the day. So it's a degree away from Saturn in Aquarius. I mean, again, there's not a lot of emotion in Aquarius. It's all very intellectual. It's looking for purpose and I think how to build really strong connections. So this is like kind of one of those Valentine's Day that tests like the soul connection between people. Is it built around this physical, societal, call it patriarchal or even consumer-driven Valentine's Day, right? I feel like if you're hoping that you're gonna get the big Valentine's Day gift or this big, boom thing, it's probably gonna go weird ways, and we're gonna be like let down in some way. I feel like that's the hard part about today. It's almost like we have this big dream of how Valentine's Day is gonna go and how everything's gonna be, and then it's just not. And we have to be able to flow. So this is like this unconditional, beautiful flow that will show you complete compassion, unconditional love, and it has all of that built in, but there's like a harshness if like, we could feel like somebody's not showing up enough, or this isn't the way I expected it, or this isn't the way the rules go. So there is this harshness that's built in too, and the harshness continues with the moon. Yes, it's in Sagittarius, and it wants the hope, it wants the vision, it wants to, keep expanding and growing, and it's almost like we can see where love and our relationships are expanding and growing, and how we can feel self-nurtured through our experiences with others, but it's going to oppose Mars, right, in Gemini, which brings extreme emotional tension and like oppositions, especially if one person thinks that, wow, I'm not getting the vision or the expanse of this relationship that I, dreamed of. But then the other person's like, well, here's the truth of the matter is that, oh, money's tight, I couldn't do it, or I had to, go off on this. So it's like conflicting truths that can lead to, arguments where somebody isn't feeling secure today. And again, I'm using Valentine's Day as an example because it is, but we can look at this in other ways too if we're, single or whatever life is throwing at us. Like there can be opposing truths that lead to discomfort within ourselves or another person, which it can feel restricting to the expanse and the growth and the happiness or the jovialness that we're trying to have today. Because I think that we are trying to see the positive. We're trying to feel good and keep things going, and it can feel like we get stuck because we get hung up on these little things. And having things be such a perfect dialed up way when right now we're going through a complete transformation of what a structure or what a plan even really is with Pluto at 29 Capricorn. So just we have to kind of ebb and flow here. This Pisces energy is the ticket, but that's where it can also be the detriment part of it, is because of some kind of a hope, dream, ideal belief around how the day is supposed to go can like cause extreme friction in our relationships. And I guess maybe those things are meant to happen. I'm not saying that we want to avoid the necessary by any means, but gosh, if things are built around unconditional love, then you definitely want to check yourself if your expectations are running a little high, because you could maybe put a relationship that you do love and want at detriment if you are not living in an exalted place from your heart on this day. Now, there are good aspects. Like I mentioned with Venus and Neptune, this is some beautiful energy. It can be a little delusional, a little, everything's fine. It has that too, but the moon's also going to trine Jupiter, and it's in Jupiter's home. So gosh, we can definitely have a lot of wants and expectations of how grandiose, things can be. I would say that there is a couple ways. This could be the most grandiose kind of Valentine's Day that wasn't expected, or like the one that you were expecting to be the grandiose one, or just a grandiose day that all of a sudden you realize was a complete mirage. So either way, where things go, it's just about ebb and flow. And I think being surprised by life and being surprised by people in our lives and being like, okay, yes, this is the way it is, whether for good or for bad, better for worse, taking the high road and remembering the love that souls have for one another that are more encompassing than just a physical nature. Because that moon's also going to quincunx Uranus in Taurus. It's quincunx the North Node in Taurus. It's like making these weird aspects to Earth, right? And there's nothing in Virgo, of course. And it does start off the day early in the morning with a sextile over to Mercury in Aquarius. So again, it's like understanding different ways. It's almost like we have to innovate from a very heart-centered place to define new structures of love and abundance, and that aren't so based around some kind of like consumer, aspect of love. Because that's why Taurus and Leo even square naturally, right? Like, does physical actually mean love? Or do you have to get the physical to feel love? You don't. It's more just the value of another person and another person's heart that makes that square powerful, but it makes it detrimental when it's like, well, I'll love you if. That's conditional love. If you can provide safety, if you can give me this. And then we have all this Pisces energy that's just like, love has nothing to do with the physicality of something. It is the feeling deep within our consciousness and in our soul, where there's no condition. There's no if when it comes to love in Pisces. It's just is. I love. And it doesn't matter what you are, who you are, what you do, how much money you make, how much you can give. My heart is just in love, right? So this is an interesting, chart for Valentine's Day. It's an interesting day, but I do think that, there's a lot of healing because the moon's going to trine over to Chiron in Aries. Like we can really find a lot of expansive growth and healing if we're seeing the positive no matter what we expected or no matter what we were told would happen. But if we can just come to that loving nature and, realize that if you come to that point at any point today, no matter how it goes or what your situation's like in regards to relationships or anything else in life, that your experience is healing and growing and expanding your life and who you are and this, character that you are and this soul that you are. That there's always positive, no matter what the lesson or no matter how harsh things can be with the sun meeting with Saturn. But, that's part of the growth in our own destinies, is finding ways to not freak out over things not going our way, but to really come to terms with, well, you know what? Everything outside of ourselves, is it even meant to go our way? I know we all want it to, but that wouldn't leave much room for growth and learning and healing if it always went our way. Now, would it? I don't think so, but that's just my opinion on the matter. So, interesting Valentine's Day, to say the least, but some good aspects there too. It's not that bad. It's not that bad, but we could make it bad. we could make this one real bad by having conditions to really love. That's kind of what it comes down to on this day. Otherwise, we could be just looking for the expanse and how to revolutionize our life and coming to terms with loving ourselves at the same time. Or just all the time, really. Not even at the same time. All right. What's in the cards? Seven of Cups in reverse. I think this is saying focus on the treasure of the emotion and the love in your life it transcends all these different things, Instead of all these different things or conditions, it's like, how about just the cup of love? Focus on love in your life and you will see things expand and grow, and there will be healing there, however it could possibly manifest. It's almost like there is something's coming in and kind of like showing love in maybe a new way that we weren't expecting. And the Hierophant in reverse. Again, if you're expecting the tradition, I don't know what to tell you. It's just not going to... That's where I think people are going to struggle in the world, is like, this is the Valentine's Day, the tradition. I want all the cups. Be careful. Careful where you put these big beliefs and, ideals about tradition right now and how things should go, because that's where you'll realize that, you set yourself up to feel in conflict within yourself, maybe, and your own philosophies about life. Wow, and the Temperance card. Crazy, you can't make that up. I shuffled that deck 5 times. But of course it is just the going with the flow, being in that divine energy, the unconditional energy, the patient energy, knowing that, it's just one day, no matter how it goes, love shows up as it's going to show up every day, no matter what is presented in the form of some physical thing. But it's just like being present with your reality and with your heart. And, I would guess, I feel like there is an essence too. It's like, take the condition off of things and just be pure in your heart. And that's where you'll see too, if, things don't go your way today, it's not pure to your heart. And that's okay too. These are, it's why the moon's opposing Mars. Things are changing and growing, and you'll see. If you're feeling some type of way, then it's not unconditional. It's very much conditional, and that's part of the tradition too. Is that really how you want to live your life, by conditions? Or are we expanding and breaking out of conditions to define new values and structures and traditions that are much more focused on the heart space and the love, and not all these things that we associate with it? I do love you all very much, and I appreciate you for watching, and I hope you have a great Valentine's Day, and I wish you all but nothing but love and happiness and abundance and all good things. And I will see you all tomorrow. Much love. Peace.